From the glorious chapters of Islamic history, we explore the story of the Muslim delegation to Persia.
These brave leaders and men of faith embarked on a mission to present Islam with dignity and eloquence.
What happened before they set off? How were they received? And what legacy did they leave behind? Stay tuned for all the details.
As Islam began to expand, the Muslims faced significant challenges from the superpowers of the time, including the Persian Empire. So Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, sent a message to Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, the commander of the Muslim army in the Battle of Qadisiyah.
The letter instructed Sa'd to send a delegation to the Persian Emperor Yazdegerd III before the battle began. A delegation of 14 men, later called the 14 Giants, was carefully chosen to represent Islam. These men were known for their wisdom, courage, and knowledge.
Sa'd carefully selected 14 men for this delegation, ensuring a balance between wisdom and strength. 7 were known for their intellect and sound judgment, and 7 were celebrated for their commanding physical presence and robust stature.
Historical accounts suggest that all 14 members of the delegation were exceptionally tall, with heights exceeding 2 meters by today's standards.
They were known as the 14 Giants.
The Muslim delegation, famously known as the 14 Giants, was a sight of awe and inspiration.
They rode magnificent Arabian steeds, known for their power and elegance, as if they were breathing fire from their majestic presence.
Their horses, with their glistening black and chestnut coats, seemed almost celestial, their flowing manes shimmering as though touched by a divine light. Their eyes burned with a determination that mirrored the resolve of their riders. The men themselves were clad in simple yet dignified garments.
Their flowing robes reflected the humility of Islam, yet they exuded a silent strength.
Their faces were illuminated with faith, their eyes carrying an unwavering conviction in their mission. Each of them stood as a living testament to balanced strength, might tempered with humility, and simplicity fused with grace.
The sight of them commanded silence and respect.
Their horses moved with deliberate confidence, as though they knew they carried men entrusted with a divine message.
In that moment, anyone who saw them would recognize that these were not mere envoys but bearers of a call from the heavens, embodying both the wisdom of their faith and the power of their purpose.
The ground trembled beneath the hooves of their mighty steeds.
Crowds of Persians gathered to witness these giants. A Persian woman who later embraced Islam described the scene. "We stood to watch them, and by Allah, we had never seen 14 men who could equal an army of 1,000. Their horses breathed fire, and their presence filled our hearts with awe and foreboding." Numan ibn Mukrin al-Muzani was the leader of this great Islamic delegation, a man renowned for his piety, bravery, and intelligence. He stood tall among the 14 giants,
bearing the banner of Islam with pride.
He understood that this mission was not merely a visit to the Persian court but a test of the dignity and faith of the Muslim Ummah. The mission was clear: invite the Persian Emperor, Khosrow, to Islam.
This was the Islamic way to begin with wisdom and peaceful dialogue before resorting to conflict. Umar wanted to demonstrate that Islam was not just a military power, but a comprehensive way of life offering peace and justice to all.
Upon entering Yazdegerd's court, the Persian emperor addressed them through a translator with arrogance.
"What brings you here to invade our lands? Have you become emboldened simply because we were preoccupied elsewhere?" Numan ibn Makarin, the leader of the delegation, turned to his companions and offered to let one of them speak.
They unanimously entrusted him to respond.
He stood with humility yet unshakable resolve and addressed Yazdegerd.
"Allah has sent us a messenger who guides us to goodness and forbids us from evil. He promised us the blessings of this world and the hereafter if we follow him." Initially, some of our people resisted, but many embraced Islam willingly, seeing the truth in its message. Now, we invite neighboring nations to the same. We call you to Islam, which promotes all that is good and forbids all that is evil.
If you accept, you will share in its blessings. If you refuse, you may pay the jizya. And if you reject both, we have no choice but to fight you. Yazdegerd, unaccustomed to hearing such defiance, was outraged. He retorted, "You are a wretched people, divided and impoverished.
You survived only because we ignored you.
Now you think you can challenge Persia?" At this, Mughira ibn Zurara stepped forward with calm dignity and said, "Indeed, we were as you described.
But Allah sent us his messenger, who united us, enriched us with faith, and granted us honor. Now, we offer you 3 choices: accept Islam, pay the jizya, or face the sword.
Furious, Yazdegerd shouted, "If not for the sanctity of emissaries, I would have killed you all." He then mockingly ordered a bag of Persian soil to be brought and handed it to the delegation as an insult. To his surprise, Asim ibn Amr stepped forward, declaring, "I will carry this soil, for it signifies that your land will soon be ours." As the delegation departed, Yazdegerd's general, Rustam, remarked, "You have just handed them Persia on a platter." Thus, the delegation returned to Sad ibn Abir workers, bearing not only the soil, but also the certainty of Allah's promised victory, a victory soon realized in the Battle of Qadisiyah. This glorious event remains an eternal testament to the strength of Islam and the dignity of its followers. The 14 giants were not just emissaries of faith, but ambassadors of bravery,
Resilience and honor.
They showed the world that unshakable belief can transform humble individuals into legends who redefine the course of history.
Let their story inspire us to strive for the revival of our Ummah and spread the noble values of Islam with wisdom and strength. May Allah grant us the steadfastness and courage of these giants, make us true ambassadors of Islam, and bring victory and unity to the Muslim Ummah.
Don't miss out on these timeless Islamic stories. Subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring narratives that ignite our faith and spread the eternal values of Islam. And share this video with your friends to spread the light of these magnificent stories.